Thank you. My name is Jessica Holyfield, and I'm a professional dance choreographer and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States, and we are here taking a look at OnlyOneOf's track entitled picassO and dOra maar, because this is a Patreon request. Shout out to Shelby for the request. And I heard that there is a potential connection between these two songs, and there is no music video or anything for picassO, so I wanted to take a listen and watch the lyrics and understand what the context of that one is going into dOra maar, look at the lyrics for that, and then look at the choreography. So that was to Shelby's suggestion, and that's what we're following. Very excited for this. And I do know for the most part there's a relationship between picassO and his lover, and how depending on the song determines kind of the relationship or the vantage point in which we're looking at it. So I am very intrigued by this. I also heard that it's very artistically sensual is what I heard too. But I mean, the only way for me to really know is for us to check it out. So let's go ahead and get started. Don't be shy. Okay. It is giving me Yummy by Justin Bieber vibes, this whole verse. What a serenading tone. I love that. What kind of do you like? Some of the English phrasing I think is fun. Wow, I see. There's a lot of innuendo that can be added into this track. And so, yes, I know that like picassO and his lover, this is in the vantage point of like picassO talking about his lover. And then I think the other one is on the other side of it on like the, yeah, hold on. Let me go brush up on this lore that Shelby provided for me. Okay. I understand. So Shelby really provided a lot of context for me here. So this is like dOra Maar, which is the name of the other track, was picassO's lover, and she was an artist herself, but most people knew her from her relationship with picassO than her own art. And so it's for this one, it definitely feels like a little serenade, just a smidge, which is a vibe. Like they have a good tone for it, you know. Now, is it like Chris Brown serenade, like Honey? I'm used to that, but I really do like how this sounds. And then dOra Maar, I have no idea what it's going to sound like, and that one has choreo to it. And I did hear like there's a lot of cubism imagery in the choreo, which makes me so excited. But the verses have a more like sadder tone with more like the obsessiveness that picassO has to dOra Maar. So I am very excited to check this out. Here we go. dOra Maar, the photographer. So it's the lady side. Is it of the lady's vantage point? I don't think so. I think it's from like still from picassO's point, but you can hear the obsessiveness a little bit more. Ooh. Ooh, the strings on that. I think instead of 100, I think it's meant to say back. B-A-C-K. But I could be wrong. It would just be his pronunciation. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. I hear it, Shelby. Cool. All right. We have a choreography video, and then we also have a full cam. So we're going to look at this one first, then the full cam. Let's go. This is technically the first time I'm actually watching this group, ever. So this is really exciting. Love me a good walk on tempo. The whisper was really good there. A lot of face imagery on that. Cool. Y'all are probably like, Jess, was it really that? I was not expecting that at all. I love it whenever that kind of stuff happens. Oh man, what is? Oh, that's just the audio. Okay, I was wondering what that was. Okay, full cam, very artistic, which I really like. I like the vibe of this a lot. Like it's really cool seeing them. Like this is like my first little taste of OnlyOneOf, and I like the following that they have too. I say they're pretty established, which is really nice. So I do know like some of the formation choices definitely tie into the cubism of being able to look at a subject from multiple vantage points. I do find it interesting though, because it says in the lyric video it said Beck like 100, but then also dOra maar, one of the only like ways that you've like had like a coherent photo of her was of her back. And so I find it interesting that we didn't show the back at all, of like a double wordplay option if that really was the case from the choreography standpoint. But that's really my only question I have in my head. But oh my god, I cannot wait to see what this looks like as a fixed cam. Go on. That little string definitely gave some subtle cognitive dissonance, anxiety driven vibes, which definitely can help tailor into the verse. The LEDs, love that. Yeah. The transitions are selling this right now. So they're using each other to showcase the visual of picassO and dOra maar. God, so cool. like barely see his face. Mr. Blonde. This is cool. That little clink, clink, clinking, I think I hear because of that. So cool. Yeah. That reminds me of the eye on one of the paintings. Oh, guys, do we see all these skinny jeans right now? I haven't seen those since like, what, 2014? The reversal transitions are so nice. Thank you. Oh, that transition was filthy. Yeah, I love the pedals. Yes. Yes to that. Thank you, Shelby. You're so cool. I appreciate this. I think, yeah, this was good. This was really, really good. I can watch stuff like this all freaking day. Come on. All right, from the top here. Oh, firstly, I do know that they capitalized the O in their tracks and everything. I know it's like it's part of. I think. I don't know if I was told like a reason, but I do know that like they do it for everything. So I do like that. I think that's fun. It does remind me of what Billie Eilish would lowercase all of her track titles, which I find to be like, it's like a little brand niche thing. So I think that's cool that you have like the O in dOra maar like capitalized, but they're like OnlyOneOf and the O's are all capitalized in their own name, which I think is super cool. So yeah, cognitive dissonance in the beginning. So the strings are not stringing the way that we're used to hearing them. They feel very abrupt, very, you know, sporadic. So it causes a certain degree of anxiety that helps kind of set, and it kind of feels like, oh, you know, catches you off guard. And so I really like that. And it sets into the potential tone of, you know, more of like the saddened verses into the serenade obsessiveness of the course. Really fun. Like this right here, the subtlety. You have your first feature right here in the center. I don't know any of them, but they all did great. Especially my guy. I mean, what's so funny is like, I don't think he can see like at all. Like, bless him, you know. But I mean, this is part of the vibe, which we're here for anyway. So right here, just the subtlety right here. He goes. Notice right there, he lets it go, and just having. It's not just about letting go. It's what happens in the residual. Notice that taking place in the fingers. Bada bing. That's what's selling it. So we're going over, watch again, right? So we have it and we create it, and I love that boom, doom, doom, doom. It feels like there's a sound that's all the way back here that we're just exploding, like we're underwater almost, you know, which is why this kind of breathy, aquatic, like liquid wave residual effect works so well for this, is because that's what the sound sounds like. It's like we're submerged in water and we can't hear clearly, right? So it's so cool. And how he looks, just the intention of where people aren't looking. Looks great. So we still have our feature right there. He's the only one that we can even catch his face on, which is cool. They all branch away. Then we have one of them assist another member to get up. He's the only one making eye contact with us until about right here. Then we go high, low, doom, ch, ch. Did you hear that? Ch, oh. And he goes boom, 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 which is interesting. Cool. And they all turn, and I love that right there. Oh, like, guys, the formations and transitions are so, they're so artistic. Love it. Love it. Oh, they're so fun. And it's right here. Da, 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 da. Welcome to my serenade is what this feels like. And then of course this, having the different angles, the little semicircle feels nice. And then also it feels like we're already tone setting. We're talking about someone. We're talking about dOra maar. And so we already have somebody set up as your subject, facing the back. That's what she was like that was the only like coherent photo, right? And so that's already a visual in and of itself right here. We're setting up the tone. Good job, choreographer, for that. And everybody's backs are facing towards us too. So it definitely feels like I want to see all of you, not just your back, right? But she wouldn't give it to him. I love that right here. Love that choice. He's like, are you crying? And she turned, that's a guy. Okay, so I like that with the bleed, and then we go and we travel it in, and it turns in. I like right here, they all snake to help match the energy of the finger tracing down the back. And they go from low to high, and he goes from high to low. Oh, the contrast. Really nice. In the range match, too. So for the degree in which he traveled the hand, that's how far in the depth of the formation they were able to travel to our eyesight. God, so cool. And we look through the commitment. They actually are touching each other on the face. That's cool. We're not hovering. That doesn't feel believable. This feels believable because you're actually touching and making contact. So that's really dope. And I like how it's mirrored over to the side intention with the hands, which is really nice to go, nah, nah, nah. It feels very deceptive. Like I could bite your neck. Is what it feels like. It feels like a vampire serenade if I didn't know it was a picassO dOra maar relationship. You know what I mean? I'm here for it. It's so cool. Then they go, I love the tempo walks where we go forward and backwards. Oh my God, this is so cool. I love it. And then they go, they turn on the percussion. And we decide we still now have people going backwards. Oh my God, this is so cool. The transitions on that are so freaking balanced. It's mirrored, and you have depth. Like this right here, the simplicity of walking on tempo, of just having people go in different patterns, accent. Oh my God, that's awesome. Do that all the time. Thank you. The reach ups, dOra maar, and goes over the eye. We love that. Nice key visual there. And that right here, he goes touch, and then he touches himself. That and da 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 da. It's like a serenade, but it's also like it's not quite right. You know, it's not like something ain't right. It's not like the XG something ain't right. It's just like, I hear what you're saying, but I don't know if that's like, it's like a red flag serenade. You know what I mean? It kind of gives off that vibe. It feels, there's like a hauntingness to the compliment, right? It feels like that. It's yeah. So I love that, and they go and they come up, which is cool. And they turn around, then right here, boom, da-da. So I like the pull on that, and then they're pulling up through the thigh, up the body, and they go dun dun dun. And they pull through, and then I like this where he takes the hand and he pushes it, and they take the head, and then they build it up with the tension on this, yes. The answer is yes to this. Now like the pull, and baby, and then ooh, ooh, ooh. So it goes da 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 da. So it hits every time it like reset. Da 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 da. When this pitch changes, what they do. And then right here, what do they do there with the feet? It is hard to tell there, isn't it? Oh, so they end up hopping to just get it where they're all, you know, it's more circular, seeing the same move from a different angle, which is really nice. And then you have the subtlety. They're all placing the weight in their respective back leg, and then from there, and the arm do 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 do. So that's the same setup, boom 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 boom, but they do it with both arms the second time. And he's the only one with the hand to drop down. Clear visual in check for our feature. He goes, oh baby. They take the arms back, so it definitely has like a, what is it? You could, honestly, this doesn't, I was like, Shelby was like, this may be a little bit on the sensual side. This is not really that, this doesn't feel that sensual to me as much as, or maybe there was another one you were thinking, Shelby, but this one doesn't feel like as sensual as, I was expecting something along the lines of like Birthday, you know, by 10. But I would say picassO felt that way more than this one. This one definitely feels like a, when you're in a relationship, there's like the natural, like a relationship that is, they're not ones that are in the traditionalist conservative mindset of like waiting until marriage. Do you know what I'm saying? Some relationship dynamics don't come across that way. I don't think dOra maar and picassO gave off that vibe. This tone gives the impression of like, you have someone that's, oh man, what's the best way to word it? I mean, I kind of feel like we've already kind of covered it. A lot of these tensions and how they're sounding and the tone it's presenting and all that stuff, it does feel that we're like syncing. It's like, it's not like snake sensual, but it has like a snake deceptiveness, but more vampire deceptiveness. I don't know. It doesn't give gentlemanly, I don't know, gentlemanly territorial with a bit of a medieval drive because of the strings at the beginning. I think it's that. I don't know, everyone, but this is really fun to talk about. I like the push and then a baby, and I like that baby with the shampoo around, which is nice. And I love how they mirrored it in the transition. Guys, walking on tempo in a mirror transition like that always works. Always works. That's a great example. Gosh, right there, boom. They hit, there's like this hold before they finish out that knee. So cool. Then it goes dOra, maar. So this is the dOra, maar focal point choreo, is this right here, which is cool. It goes, hi. So it's interesting how he stays up and it's his falsetto and they all drop down. So interesting. Normally I prefer the hi because he goes high, but I didn't mind that choice. That was cool. And this right here with the levels is nice. I think because of the camera vantage point, it is hard to see that second tier level. So that would be my only recommendation. If you look at it from a regular shot, he's still that low. I would have him be about right here, you know, just so we can see his head or like the top half of it. I think that's my only note. Yeah, but maybe we can see him because he's a bit crouched over a smidge. So maybe it's that. I love this. And he just drags across, but it matches this type of drag. Come on. You know what would work is if they had tats. If they had sleeves like this. Go back in. Boom. Na, na. dOra, which is nice. And they swing it through. There's your accent again, but it's not quite as tense as a lot of these little shampoos. That right there, that boom, I love that little with the tension, like hold out on the shoulder before we threw it. They're right here. Oh my god, so clean. And then you have the two lines and they go and they expand it out. I love that choice. Yeah, boom. I like how he throws, but he doesn't like throw it fully, but they all turn. And it's still front and back. Like you still have that opposing side. You're seeing the back often in this. You're seeing the different angles often, the corners. Oh, so fun. This is a fantastic example of having like simpler choreo and your formations and your transitions and your spacing is what's selling it. That's beauty. Like this is cool. Like you can like that. This is the example that I would give of saying if you want balance, if you have simple choreo, do this. And this is freaking phenomenal, you know, because I think the point is not really about the choreo as much. It's how they're spaced out and how they're transitioning and how they're getting their formations. It's so freaking sick. Okay. This right here is boom and the hit and the hit. Boom, my dOra. Now it's interesting how this has the same degree of like rebound versus like a reverb where we like sink into it deeper. I would assume that that would be the choice they would go with. I don't mind this choice, but because of how they've been doing like these really cool tension speed changes, going into my dOra, like making it feel weighty and tiring, like how the tone feels, I feel like that would make it feel a little bit more like communicative in that section, just as smooth, but I don't mind the choice. It could just be just my, the wordplay just feels more fitting to that, which is totally fine, but then hit it back, like, see, look, there's that weightiness, boom, to the back, which is nice, and then go back, and then, of course, the little rotation all the way around, Mola, and I like how they hit it there. That right there, the over, you see a little pas de bourrée of those who travel more towards the front. They present out with the breath. And some of these choices match well because of what's going on outside of just the vocalist. So you have this like, and that feels very airy, breathy. Adding a breath, it feels more unison in nature, right? And then right here, that boom, they let the hand go, and then they let the head, a match, come on. And it goes, boom, they throw the arms to match that. Every sound is represented, in such a tasteful way. They all go down, then they bleed it up. He has his moment. Look at how he's holding himself. He's holding himself like he needs some wine and a good time. And look at this art piece. It's what it gives, this hole right here. And they go, little crash, and they go, and then they rotate it around. That's such a cool shot. Now listen to this clinking that happens, and that's what's going to be happening traveling down in this middle formation. He goes, yeah, so he knocks down. ding, 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 ding. Yo, that's so cool. And then you have him, he takes it and rotates it up. He has this moment, it's like an egg crack on his head of angst. That was so fun. They come up now. Woo, come on. Yeah, thank you. So they're all down, and then you have this little look, and then there's always something residual going on through our features, which is so cool. Like, the features are cool, but man, if you just watch what everybody else is doing, it's just as engaging and interactive. That's what I love about this. That's what makes it feel artistic. And of course, you have the framing, but it's in that purpley hue. Ooh, so fun. So fun. And then I love how they're taking it and creating this little green effect that's kind of traveling through, which is nice. So everyone's kind of having, like, as he passes through this little moment that's shared, which is super fun. And then they're here, this minute, and they actually grab him and pull him back. I love that. Then they go dOra, maar, and we don't spend longer than 2 counts in like a basket run, like lower position to transition. And that's what really sells it too. Look at that. Boom. Love that. Then you have your next feature in center, and they go da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da. Yeah, that was a dope ripple. So cool, and it was mirrored. Really well done on that. Also, I think what I like about this is our features pop up at all sorts of places. They either pop up as part of partner work to showcase your muse in picassO, dOra, maar in picassO, or it's somebody who's admiring art, and then you have others that are featured that are the art itself, or you have it, like, I really love it when you have people and you use them to set up your environment. Like, of course, it's nice to have them as actors and extras, but it's also really cool for them to be like the painting, or to be like they're not saying they're stairs or anything, but definitely they contribute to the depth of like the landscape in which we're looking at the scene. They're not just standing there waiting for their turn. They're always contributing to the overall look of the piece. And that justifies the concept they're going with for that reason. So cool. And then right here, boom, notice there's a little airiness to this. Oh, man. And they go, nah. And I like how they hug and they look over ever so briefly. God, it's so cool. And they turn over. Now this part, dee-dee. Tension is still there the whole time. Rotate through, and I like how they like added this extra moment over to that stage right side, and he takes it over my features, the only one who doesn't do the hand there, and it helps us clock him. Boom, boom, with the subtlety of the head. Come on. Bum, bum, and then we drop it. Yeah. Yeah, different formation. Thank you for that. So it doesn't feel like a K-pop boy group right now. And I think that's what also sells it, is how this choreo is formatted. I'm able to appreciate the choreography even if they didn't sing, which I find so fascinating. It's a singable track. There's a lot of modification in the vocals, we'll call that what it is, but like, you can sing. There's a lot of tension here, but it's so, oh my God, like, even the format, like, I'm not looking at this the same way as I look at a regular choreo. And it could be because I had a lot of insight going into watching this where I knew that the intention was very artistic, and so I was able to receive it that way. And so it's hard for me to like disconnect from that. But it's very admirable, the fact that they kept my attention in the way that they have, and I've been able to truly like dive in and feel the depth of the story and admire the intention as much as I have too. Because it'd be one thing if I could like know the storyline, like picassO and dOra, maar, cool, but to see it emulated in this way, like, it feels believable, right? And that's what makes it really fun. So thank you for the whole team. It's not just them, it's the whole team involved in the choreography, composition, production. I know they are heavily involved in all of it, and I think that's part of it too. They're able to sell it because they're a part of the investment in creating it as well, which, love it. With the hip there, same choreo, but it's a different format. It's a diagonal this time. I think the diagonal was a little bit off in the choreography dance practice space, but I think it got cleaner here. The walk there, on tempo, thank you. And they go and they drop the hands, that baby, and they rock back. And you're just my weeping model, ooh, or grieving model, right? And I like that. It ties together what we kind of saw in the very beginning, but we got to see it melt back and come back in. And they all look down. I love that, honestly, with one of my guys right there. I love the fact that he just rested his head literally like right there. I love that. It's just the commitment all the way through. You have these little stoic moments. It's so freaking cool. Like that, these are really dope picture moments, but we bleed through, we create a picture moment, and it doesn't look awkward if we're choosing to hold it, you know? But it's also interesting enough where it's like you're not used to seeing some of these holds in this way, and they're very visually pleasing too. And there's levels. The slide through, I like that. Oh, so we match the range of that sound. It comes in, da-da-da-da-da-da, and they come back in, oh, right there, establish a clean line before we break off, which is exactly what we see, bringing it through, and then we hear that whoosh, and then having them all join in on the V at that point feels more like a whoosh there, right? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah is right. Yeah. Listen, you hear this, like, we got to hear it one more time. So listen here. He's having his moment. This is the kind of stuff I'm talking about, which is what really fascinating. Future's cool and all, but what's happening behind him? My God. So you have this here with your two. That little whoon, very nice. You have your two, and then you have this whoosh, kind of feels like what a wing would do. So when they expanded that fully, it feels like we're expanding our wingspan. That's the kind of stuff I think I love the most, and what makes this choreography so like engaging is not, it's, oh my God, what's the best way to word it? I've never been able to mention this about a K-pop choreography before, which is why I'm really excited to get my words right here. Firstly, it feels like there's still certain parts of the choreo, even though we've already gone through about half of it, that I've missed, or that I wasn't able to stop and recognize because there was something else that captivated me too, and I had to choose. But this is gonna be an overview thing that I want you to go back and watch and experience for yourself. Because I don't want to do that. I want to make sure we maintain the proper flow, but I want you to think about it this way. This example that I just gave, they have that all throughout this choreography from the beginning until now. There's moments where your features doing their thing, they're captivating in their own right, but there's something going on in the back with everybody else, and they're hitting polyrhythms through the art of delegation is what I've called it, and they make it in very interesting ways that I'm used to seeing competition choreography do. That's not hype, but very I'm talking about like West Coast community scene choreography. I'm used to seeing it there, which I love because it feels very real. It doesn't feel like we're putting on a facade, right? It feels believable to me. And so they're accenting certain sounds that are like little interruptions, like the clinking of the glasses, like we caught that one, and then the whooshing, and how the formation expanded. And the reason why it made sense is because whenever you think of wings spreading, you think they go from small to large. So the formation went from small to large. They have those types of things that are happening here that if you look throughout the track, there's certain sounds that happen in how the sound sounds. Like there's this monstrous little harmony sound before the chorus begins, and it sounds monstrous and mischievous, which goes into, we're switching the tone to like this is ill intent. The intention, I think, the intention may be good, but it's still not healthy, right? It's not a healthy harmony that's taking place. Does that make sense? I hope I'm making sense here. And I'm saying all of this because I think I can catch a lot of things, but this is one of the few times where I feel like I'm becoming aware that I am missing things, not because I didn't catch them, but because there were multiple things captivated about the sections that we were looking at, and I picked one. And the thing that I didn't pick was a little bit on the back end, like the background. I picked the foreground item because that's the thing that I want to focus on, but Lord have mercy, this totally could deserve a second choreo review, but I know this would be very, very long, and I know some of you would appreciate that, but the analytics on YouTube would not appreciate it. But the overview still stands. Go look at that. Maybe we'll try to catch more in the future, but that's the kind of stuff that's like filthy about this and what makes it so captivating. So cool. That little, yeah, we drop it down. Boom, oh my dOra. And notice there's more of a unified vocals here, so them being in unison makes sense. That's another thing that you'll notice too. Whenever you hear certain harmonies in the back, you'll notice there's more people involved in the choreography. Love it. Yeah, boom, my man. Notice the feature, he stays stationary, they all transition, which is cool. And then from here, we drop it. I love the mirroring on that. Of course, they're not quite 100% mirrored, but their head's down, so it feels like it's intentional. Really nice. And then you have this, then you have one of them posed down, somebody facing the back. Always somebody facing the back. We love it. The turn, yeah, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And I like how they all turn, rotate, and he also turned. Really cool. He goes, baby, and I like his pull on that. Great commitment from our feature there. Gonna see the back. Part of me's like, I want to see a back. I want to see the back, but I know he may be saying 100. I think that's a perfect opportunity to have put your back facing. Like, does that make sense? That could just be wishful thinking for me. That's my only note in the whole thing. Yeah, boom. Oh my dOra. Yeah, that was fine. dOra. They set back. And I love how he does the brush and they all turn. Thank you. Yeah, mola. Same things, what we've already kind of seen. Boom, da 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 da, and they're pushing more towards the foreground on that. That's really cool. Love that. And they go, boom. There's that breath. That's another one. Hey, for the breath. We've already caught that. Yep. They go back in. One of them did a little. Did they do a trace wave just then? Hold on. Oh, they could have. Oh, they should have. This right here. This is a perfect opportunity to freaking wave it, but they didn't. But pick your battles, Jess. I like that. And they go and they place it. But that's a perfect place they could have done a trace wave. Trace wave is taking the hand and it traces over, and they could have waved it. I think that's really the only thing that could, if you wanted to serenade me, throw some waving in it. As a waver. That part right there. Oh, yeah, yeah. So they take it, the cleanliness of everybody pushing one direction, and then they all rotate, and the transition is what sold that. So cool. I love this here. We have people going backwards and forwards. I love that. The only person that is looking towards us is the feature. So cool. And it goes, yeah, and then you have a new feature. Nope. So it's, sorry. So one of them I just saw first. So they all go out, and then it goes from outside to inside. There's these little notes that are being played in the back. That's what their tempo is. He's having his moment, writing his own rhythm, but everything in the back is so like, it's so like, it's not muted, but it's like, there's like a flow there, and they're hitting the flow the whole time, keeping us from like ignoring it and just think about the tone. God, it's so cool. And they're going backwards. I love that, sliding in to the line. Thank you. This part, so starting from this part near the end, you saw the look on my face when I saw this. This is why full cams matter. It's because I didn't get to appreciate this in the moving version. Here's what's cool about it. He has his moment. He goes, he takes it, and he goes flick, flick. That's really nice. It doesn't bother me. Hey, oh, the runs is fine. They go, they turn, drop. Very clean. That was cool. It starts from here. He turns, he comes up. And he is freaking attached to them, and they are pulling, and he's walking, guess what? On tempo. Thank you. Then from here, look what happens. So they go and they get pulled, and then my guy right here on stage right, he's going to break away, and it's going to cause a freaking ripple all the way around the formation. So he has his moment. Then my feature right here, because how are we able to catch him? Not just because he's an outlier in the back, but because the ripple begins, you guessed it, in the foreground, really close to him as the feature. So we're naturally going to clock him as our vocal moment when this is happening, even though our previous feature is all the way across the freaking stage. Oh my God, this is so cool. This goes around, da 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 da. Commitment all the way to the head. Thank you. And then right there, they get pulled. And those, when my last guy didn't drop, that's whatever. But we go, it goes da da. Notice the monstrous da da da. It feels very like demanding. You know, sometimes when we see on like a show, when someone's like super fine and then they get mad, they have that monster voice. Rah, rah, rah. That's what that feels like. You know, and I think having that in there on top of what I know, I think it helps push the agenda of really like, we're feeding off of the, it doesn't matter that you're sad, I'm going to obsess over you anyway. Like, it's like, you shouldn't be sad, but I'm going to love you anyway. But not in like a caring way, but in an obsessive way. Like a territorial way. You know, it kind of feels like that. Yeah, and that's where the monstrous kind of vibe comes in too. You are my masterpiece, and you have this, yeah, and then you have your speed change. Boom. With a pedal, so freaking fitting. And then the water in the back does remind me, it can tie into the fact that it feels like the sound is trapped in water, but also blood. Yeah, oh, and the pull is so cool. And the pull made it look like he caused the transition, or it caused the formation to shift. Then they turn out of it. Then they go in. Very stable. The fact that they're stable coming out of their turns is what sells it too. Then from here, commitment to the mirroring of the direction changes is what makes that also. There's just so much of what I'm saying. This is such a cool, deep, and vast choreography that the more you watch it and the more you understand what you're looking at, the more admirable it is. And I can get on board with talking about crap like that all day. I love looking at stuff like this because it feels like I learned something, I'm inspired, and I get to grow in it. And that's the kind of stuff as humans we love to see. We love learning, we love appreciating and admiring, and I love the fact that their tones work. It's a nice track in and of itself. The choreography is freaking phenomenal. And it's not even the content, it's the texture, and it's the formations and how they're getting into their stuff. The most neglected areas of content making is transitions from movement to movement. That's what this focus is. And so it feels like it's filling in a gap for me that a lot of times content and focal points of like move, move, move is so cool. But when you get that often, sometimes you become a little bit constructive on that. But here it's the opposite. And so it's very refreshing for K-pop in the scene of things where the focus on the concept is more where somebody's facing more so than the movement itself. So cool. The turn there. Boom, baby. Nice accent on that. Because, let me see the back. Yeah. They drop down. That right here. Now we can't see the foot taps here, and I'm so glad we got to see them in the other choreo shot. That was so cool. I like that he's the only one that takes his hands, but they take their arm. That is like the slowest descension. It's like what is it? You know, it's like what is it that? It's like a crane or something. It just feels like it's slow. It's, oh my god, so cool. I want to. God, so cool. It's like a super subtle polyrhythm, but notice what happened in the back. That there's this whoom that happened, and they all got up. Listen, it's that stuff. That whoom. It's the most subtle sound in the freaking world, but that's where we chose to transition on. Oh my god, this makes me mad how good this is. Okay, they walk. This is the first time they're walking not on tempo. And at this point, we don't care, right? Yeah, they're literally like, okay, we're humans and we're just walking, living our life. We're our own individuals. We're all picassO. Is what it feels like. And they reach up, he reaches forward, they go up, yeah. And then we go and we finish. And they have this nice residual where the track's over, they go and they finish with a like counter, what is it? When the song's over but you're still going, like it feels we're done when we say we're done is what that comes across as. That was fantastic. That was wonderful. I could watch stuff like that all day. You know, Shelby, golly, this was cool. Thank you. Thank you for this, because I feel like a better person for this, honestly. Thank you also for like telling me what you have, because I think I was able to properly prepare more to appreciate it as much as we got to. So thank you, Shelby. And those of you who are fans of this group, you need to say thank you to her too, because she didn't have to give me all that context, but she did. And that's what helped me be able to appreciate it, and hopefully helped you enjoy rediscovering or encountering a lot of what makes this choreo so fantastic. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch. If you want to be like Shelby and recommend quality, amazing content like this, you can go onto Patreon, and I have a couple tiers that give you some options to guarantee requests every single month. I have some people that have me looking at Astro every month. I have people making me look at NCT 127. Sorry, not making me. I love doing it, but they have it on my schedule every month to look at those groups. And with Shelby, if you wanted me to look at more of this group, I'm not gonna pull your leg on it. So I'm having a fantastic time just getting to encounter new groups. Like, this is the first time I'm ever seeing OnlyOneOf, and I know this will probably not be the last, and I'm looking forward to meeting the fan base that is affiliated with the group. I'm curious what your fandom name is, if you have one. It sounds intriguing. I'm assuming there's going to be an O in it. That's really my guess, but I'm so intrigued on the discussions for it. What did you notice and maybe I didn't notice? But I'm so excited. As you can tell, this was great. Once again, my name is Jess, and I will catch you on the flip side. Bye.